Mercury impersonation.
So anyway, we're good to go. Are we live?
We be live.
Are we streaming?
You should edit the title to Mike Allen ruins everything.
I'll take that heat, man. I don't care.
Number one, you were wrong about Tom Brady. Number two, you ruined the stream. Number three, you wouldn't get me McDonald's. And number four,
15 minutes before the show, you're going to send me on an Uber Eats run to go get you McDonald's?
Yes. You know what's cooler than that? Not unplugging stuff.
Well, I didn't think at the time that when I unplugged it that we would be...
Sorry to interrupt you, but he didn't think at the time that he would be here and that it would be his problem.
Yeah. That's what I
No,
heard.
I wouldn't even have been at class, so I wouldn't have unplugged it.
You know, if I was a kid and
I'd
I
have
was
been in
like,
Mexico drunk right now.
see,
And everything would have been plugged in because I wouldn't have had to try to...
you know, if I would have told my
class.
parents like, well, I didn't think that would have happened, and then they still would have like beat me with like a rake or like a burlap sack filled with Bibles because they don't leave bruises.
Yeah.
I'm so mad right now.
Why?
No, we're good.
You
We
broke
got
it.
I didn't break anything.
Broke it. If it wasn't for Alex's magical haircut right now, this thing would have
his haircut
permanently
is
broken.
killer.
Still better than Patty. That guy sucks.
Killer.
Screw that guy. He's garbage. Let me kick him in the nads.
Absolutely kicking head.
You actually have like a little bit like left here.
Yeah, who cut your hair?
I did.
Oh, you missed a little patch in the back there.
Ah, man, I thought I got that bastard.
Here, I can get it later. After the show, after we're done being mad at your dad.
No, it's good.
Oh, that's good.
I should have been here. I should have known.
Should have
Not.
Fuck you, man.
if it wasn't going to be him, it was going to be Patty. If it wasn't going to be Patty, it was going to be...
I'm still permanently mad at Patty because that
Davis.
guy's a piece of shit. Okay, Patty's like, I don't want to come into the show. And I'm like, thanks, dick. I see how it is. You know, I get hanging out with the girlfriend and fiance, and that's cool. But like,
Yeah, but you got all week for that, man. Come hang with the boys for a couple hours. Bring her with you.
nah, sounds like work.
Shit.
You know.
He just didn't want to. He just didn't want to get dressed.
Yeah, no, probably this is like his day off, so he's like, I'm gonna wear sweatpants and watch a whole bunch of TV and play Call of Duty.
Isn't it pretty much everyone's day off because the economy is shut down?
Not me.
No,
me.
yeah, we're working.
Not if you're an
I'm working
essential
my
part of
ass
the
off.
economy.
Yeah, we're badass. Suck it, jobless hippies.
Yeah.
Go get a real job, hippies.
Us delivery drivers are out there killing it right now.
I actually made a point. About that in my last article I published this morning. So,
About what?
about the economic shutdown is just going to destroy everything. And it's like, what you got to do? Shut the restaurants down. And you have everyone that's displaced is now working as delivery drivers. You try to pay the bills. And if you shut the restaurants down, call them not essential. You got to put A, these people out of work, and then B, you're going to put more strains on the grocery stores who are already dealing with a bunch of fucktards. What were you, 22 minutes in? Trying to get their shit
He
paper.
already said it.
Nobody cares.
Also, the other thing is
Yeah, that pig died.
McDonald's is not going to go out of business.
No.
And on top of that, I just want to say that it was delicious, and I'm glad I ordered those burgers. And it was pretty cool because the guy who delivered them was actually deaf. It like puts in little Uber notes. It's like
Yeah.
I had to sign it, thank you, and he was like, and I was like, yeah, and he was like,
And something to be said about McDonald's or Burger King or Wendy's, don't try to make yourself into gourmet burgers. Sometimes I just want to have a McDonald's burger and have it taste like a McDonald's burger.
I go to Whataburger, so it's always quality, grade A.
Humongous hamburger. fresh
Absolutely
made,
large, huge damn burgers.
on Texas toast with avocado.
And bacon. The mushroom Swift's good too.
So you go to start streaming? Yeah.
So anyway, Leland, I got a bone to pick with your Republicans.
Do pick.
They got this coronavirus bill. Everybody talking about sending money out to Americans that are fighting out of work right now and that need it. And the Republicans decide to load that bill up with a bunch of pork
And the Democrats also decide to load that bill with their own type of pork. They
And
just
then
need to send a clean bill with neither side having their pork.
Yeah, we did it.
You know
what? Yeah, we did it. But you know what? The Democrats did it too.
Exactly. That's the problem I have with this.
Damn it.
Because who gives it? Your argument shouldn't be, yeah, but the Democrats. The Democrats' argument shouldn't be, yeah, but the Republicans. Both of you all are trash.
I just said that.
Both of you all need to be voted out in November.
did. Sorry,
hashtag
Leland. Yeah.
hashtag remember November. I don't care what party you're a part of. If it's not specific to what's supposed to be done, that bill shouldn't even be drafted. And that's the same with all bills, because that's the problem with a lot of the bills we have right now, is you have bills that gets presented to the Senate and the House to go through to get voted on, and they have nothing to do with the original intent of the bill.
They're written by lobbyists, and then they find a lawmaker that
They
has
have
their name
nothing
on.
to do
Yeah.
with the original intent of the bill. It could
Exactly.
be like a school funding bill, but on that school funding bill, they could have a bunch of stuff on there that have nothing to do with school funding, that are just little pet projects that get added onto the bill. So a bill which should be no longer than 2 pages ends up being 1,000 pages
A phone
long.
book size, yes. It's
And then they give them
ridiculous.
like 33 hours to read it.
Yeah,
Which is impossible.
to be able to vote on it.
And they both do it.
And
That's why it's
well,
both
like-
garbage. And
well,
there's
it's-
no excuse. And there's no, yeah, like you
And the
said.
perfect example is the ACA bill, 5 years ago now, when Nancy Pelosi famously said, well, we have to pass it so we can find out what's in it. No, you have to know what's in it before you can debate on the floor, bring it to a vote, and pass it as a bill.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, that's why they should be going. I mean, the fact that they can bring these things straight to the floor without even going to the committees and debate and review and say what the hell is in what the hell's all this shit that's being piled into this damn bill.
So remember in November, folks, nobody has to stay.
Yeah.
You know what they at least didn't do? Unplug stuff.
Yeah, their problem
Actually,
was
they
that
probably
were plugging
did.
too much things in. Like if I showed up and a bunch of unnecessary shit was plugged in, I wouldn't be as upset as. No, I wasn't upset.
Like I said, it was an easy fix. I just figured I didn't think you'd be calling from the phone, having Mike, out here trying to figure it out. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I unplugged my camera to try to use my computer for a class and that I didn't plug it back in and that I didn't notify
Does he get to
people.
spank you now?
No.
You're grounded. Go sit in the corner.
That would be
In
weird.
fact, the reason why I was running late is because I anticipated this happening, and I picked up a pallet of cinder blocks. And he's going to have to stack them neatly on the other side of the yard.
Wrecked.
And
Well,
then
that's
what time
because
is
I
it?
didn't have a wood
I'll
pile
be in
for
there
to
at
move.
11:30, and through 3 hours from now.
So what Alex is referring to is when I was young, his grandfather used to make me restack wood. But when Alex was young, we didn't have a whole lot of wood to stack, so I found a pile of bricks, and his punishment would be to move the stack of bricks from one side of the yard to the other, and these were big cinder blocks. So at the time, what were you, 8 or 9?
Yeah, I was a youngin.
Yeah, so he could
I
only
fell
carry
off a dock.
he could only carry one at a time. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He was like, "Hey, don't go to the ledge there. You'll fall." And I was like, "Yeah, whatever."
And
I fell.
I'm backing the car up, and all I see is Alex in the back window, head first off the dock, and I'm like, oh,
That's
man.
where this came from.
Like,
Maybe
I've killed my boy.
This is Alex afterwards.
Stronks. Yeah. To tell you what, though, I can level a son of a bitch. Bricklaying, Pff, down. She know about laying bricks.
The king of the paves.
So yeah, instead of getting my ass beat or anything kind of unproductive like that, it was like, all right, we'll go move those blocks till they're good.
No,
Go work in the acid mines.
Yeah, we tan-tied a couple of times. Only twice, though. Your grandpa had to tan mine 3 times, so you learned quicker than I did.
Go work in the acid mines. I need you to quarry this limestone and build me a statue
Yeah, pretty much.
of me beating you. But you're lucky. You just have to build a statue, and that's going to be a reminder. What'll happen?
of your time.
Yeah.
beaten.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even have to, like, I'm sorry, but, like, if I have, like, the unfortunateness to have kids, yeah, I'm going to make them build, like, a statue of, like, a belt. And be like, yeah, you want to do something stupid? Look at that. You made that. Then I'll make you move it and make it again. And then after that, I'll kick your ass with, like, a toaster. Or, like, the cord from a microwave. It's all fun and games until you lock a child, apparently, inside of a chest freezer.
Sounds like the plot of Zombieland 2.
Yeah, never have kids, Mike. Ever.
Yes.
Never have kids.
Never have kids, Mike.
Oh, my God.
More kids on purpose now.
So, how much longer do you think the press and everybody's going to drag this stuff out?
Okay.
Dude, I
6 to 9 months or 420 days.
Trump wants it done in 15 days. He says the treatment for the disease is worse than the disease itself by nuking the economy.
Okay, so my question is, how much longer do you think this is going to drag out?
69 days.
69 days? Because it's a sexual number?
No. Because it's
Unfortunately, probably till May at least.
Till May?
I mean, you have City of Austin already having their stage 1 shut down for 6 weeks.
don't know. I'd probably say end of April.
End of April?
I think towards the end of April, people will start kind of being like, all right, dicks. Like,
okay.
You know
Honestly,
what? We're
well,
going
let
to
me
go
ask you
ahead and go
this.
ahead and start keeping
Outside of-
everything up.
Outside of the fact of Trump probably being swept into office on a freaking landslide because the Democrats can't get out of their own way,
Because they're garbage.
how much change do you think is going to happen in the House and the Senate after this
Probably
dumbass move?
Probably none. Because people are dumb. And my thing is this. They suck. And the people who vote for them often also suck.
That's true.
So what I'm going to propose is this. I don't care what happens as long as I still get to go see Faith No More in Korn in September.
Well, I moved my tickets because obviously I'm supposed to be in Mexico right now. So I moved my tickets to go home in July. Yeah, I was going to go down there and catch a case of Coronas
And then stay down there.
and then get trapped down there in an all-inclusive resort for a
The
week.
fact that CNN is blaming the Democrats for not getting the bailout bill is saying a lot right there.
Oh, CNN did
They're really going after the Democrats, not both sides, but the Democrats
CNN
specifically.
is unloading on the Democrats. I had to do a double take, man. I'm like, well, hey, CNN, that's your boys, man. What's up?
Yeah. I mean, I don't
it
know.
is a
At some point, I feel like the like the party loyalty, like
Flip-flops.
better red than dead, and like blue
Yeah.
wave bullshit is all going to start like collapsing. Like people are going to start looking out for their own interests.
Absolutely.
And they're going to be less like virtuous and idealistic, and more like, I guess, principled, and like, all right, federal government needs to go fuck itself. Let me talk about my municipal governments, my state level county governments,
making a change locally.
my state my state governments, because
Yes.
those people directly affected me the most. While I was during this entire thing, and the federal government just like walked around with a thumb up its ass.
Well,
Exactly.
Would you agree that this would be the opportune time for the third parties to get their act together?
Yes.
I think more people. Yeah. I think more
Yeah,
people probably
absolutely.
gonna, like.
Absolutely.
And I also propose we started like a new form of the Libertarian Party called the Snake Party, because you don't step on the snake. No step on snack. And also, we're going to make sure we idealize farming. So technically, it would be called the Snake Farm Party.
Problem is
I don't know where his head goes, man. I mean, for a brief moment when he was trying to figure out the video stuff, it was like I was looking at an actual adult. It was amazing.
He ran out of
It was
McDonald's.
amazing.
What
I mean, the
happened
look,
was-
everything.
Is
You know?
that he had to like be serious, and I was like,
He ran out of McDonald's cheeseburgers.
compensate.
I also ran out of cheeseburgers.
Yeah, he ran out of cheese. Well, you ate them like they were going to run away from you, man. Holy shit!
I was hungry, okay?
I've seen hyenas attack a corpse in the Serengeti with less enthusiasm than I saw you attack those burgers.
Those
man. It's like,
cheeseburgers
goddamn.
are to his brain is what spinach is to Popeye's strength. So it's only temporary,
Yeah,
folks.
I got like 30 spicy chicken nuggets from Wendy's earlier. And it was pretty good.
Those are pretty good.
I was like, can I get 5 of the 6-piece chicken nuggets, please?
Hey, you know what? Just I was doing a little stress eating, and I ripped by a Popeyes, and I had one of those Popeye chicken sandwiches.
They're pretty good.
Oh,
They still got chicken sandwiches?
freaking god!
All right, well, back to what we were talking about Republicans
spicy-
and Democrats
the spicy-
ending up on a guillotine.
The spicy chicken sandwich.
What they need to test for is they need to test for the COVID-19 antibodies to be in people's bloodstream. That means that their immune system has been exposed to it and has dealt with it. And when they test for that, they're probably going to see 60 to 80% of the population has already been exposed to it and is fine, and this lockdown is bullshit.
So the question is like, what if they don't
So
find it?
that's
And
what we're
then
saying. Yeah, so
60 to 80% was not exposed to it.
he's just,
Well, what
that's
are they-
what we're saying,
That-
Leland, is that like they're gonna come out and they're gonna see that this is all kind of like it's been like politicized and exploited by both
big time.
by both
Big
Big
ends.
time.
So
Yeah,
like
there's no party that comes out of this
people are
clean.
like, yo, hey, what the fuck was all that? Like, why did you guys exasperate this? You tried to sneak things into bills that could have helped people.
Yeah.
And now it's like you're just getting in our way. You are getting in our way, and we're gonna people need to remember that.
Yeah, remember in November. I'm going to start the hashtag. Remember in November.
I mean, that's been a hashtag for a long time.
Has it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Remember the 5th of November. No.
I didn't say the. Yeah.
You wear the Ides of March.
Well, yeah. Shut up.
You remember it was like back during like Occupy Wall Street when Anonymous.
Oh,
No, the Guy Fawkes stuff, yeah.
Guy
Yeah.
Fawkes.
That movie.
Well, remember November this November.
I'm glad that whole Guy Fawkes thing like disappeared because that was the worst.
But you know who I ran into, and I've actually started reading a lot of his stuff, and he's pretty much been dead on. There's a couple of things been kind of out in left field. Is that Q?
Yes.
Who?
QAnon.
QAnon. Oh. Yeah.
And it's freaking me out.
So
A little bit.
to dive into that, and now granted, obviously take it with a grain of salt.
Try not to put your mouth directly on the microphone. There
So
you go.
to dive into that, the theory is that there has been deep state agents that have been trying to put out this coronavirus outbreak for years, including this time last year in downtown Los Angeles when they had the quote unquote military drills that were linked to this building that was owned by people of the Nexium cult. And it was originally theorized that anthrax was promulgated in this building and that it was meant to be demolished and dispersed it airborne in downtown Los Angeles. And so there was this
What would be the purpose of that?
to start what we're doing right now. And it turns out it wasn't anthrax. It was a coronavirus variant.
Anthrax is a sweet band. Don't you ever talk about them in that way, like again.
Pretty much. That's what I'm saying. I mean, what would that band ever do to anybody but put out music that you can get high by?
But yeah, the Q posts have been saying the storm is coming, March Madness, the storm of March.
See,
2020.
that's where it kind of gets. I mean, he's been
Storm
right
of
about
March.
stuff, but then he goes all Alex Jones and gets all freaking crazy.
I mean,
Out
yeah,
in
like
left
no
field
offense,
stuff.
but like a broken clock is right twice a day. So like,
No,
there was
but-
some
but,
stuff
I
like
mean,
that. Alex
some of the-
Jones was like pretty like on point about like, yeah, I can see where you're coming from, but now he's talking about like,
Alex hates Q.
Gay frogs.
well, no, I
Turn the
mean,
freaking
like,
frogs gay.
Well,
Well, who cares
that
if
was
frogs are
legitimate,
gay?
But
I
like,
mean,
who gives a shit?
frogs are some frogs are asexual.
So the
That's how
theory
they
of
reproduce. I mean,
so
what the
so
hell?
the theory
It's like, all right,
Gay frogs. Okay.
So the theory of the origin of Q is that Q is a series of high-ranking individuals. Some theorize even President Trump, as well as high-ranking people in the NSA and other white hat intelligence operations. And the Anons are the ones that interpret this information. Those are the people that are that the lemmings call the trolls on the Chans. So that's the difference
the
between
hell did you just say?
the trolls on the Chans, the lemmings.
Help me out, Mike.
it's on poll. It's just all
Okay,
poll.
so pretty much if you read most of the stuff on there, it was probably information that came from 4chan at some point in time because
got
it's
it,
called
got it,
weaponized autism, and that website's filled with it. So
Yeah. Well,
remember,
4chan is-
remember, this is a website that like helped multiple governments lead fights against ISIS and Boko Haram. and also stole Shia LaBeouf's flag like 4 to 5 times.
Yeah.
So
Wasn't 4chan who broke
4chan and-
Pizzagate?
4chan and 8chan, which is
that
now
4chan?
8kun. Yes, 8chan and 8kun.
They also
Now, you-
like helped
have
the
you heard-
FBI shut down a bunch of like child porn websites.
Now, have you heard the conspiracy theory about how this is all a smokescreen?
Yes, I have.
You know what
Hold on,
specifically
I
is
was
all
trying to
smoke
finish
screen?
a sentence and. Hey, grab me a soda water while you're up, Mr. Interrupter. Anyway, have you heard the conspiracy theory about how this is a big smokescreen to flesh out and arrest celebrities who are all part of the pedophile ring because of the information they got from Weinstein before he killed himself? And that
Weinstein or Epstein?
or Epstein.
No, Weinstein now has the COVID-19. Apparently, go figure. If the
Yeah, and they're talking about this is like a God dang it, I forgot to turn that off. This is like a big cover up to turn your volume down, caller. and that this is how they're going to have the mass arrest for the big pedophile.
Yeah,
the big-
you lock people in place, and then
Yeah.
you have the mass arrest when everyone is locked down, and even down
which
to
for me as an actor that means job opportunities.
So wait,
I'm
hold
kinda-
on.
I'm kind of
And-
hoping that
This
happens.
is a smoke screen. Sorry.
Even-
this is to lock
on.
This is to lock everybody down into place. Like they're putting thousands of lives at risk and risking the entire economy just so that they can lock people up.
also.
well, it's just big. That the
Telling
big,
me that the CIA can't
big-
like locate people and black bag them in the
Well,
middle.
I'm just exactly. I'm telling you what I'm telling
That's
you
the-
what the theory is that this is all to control the population and get us into a controlled state so that they can at one time, because they don't want anybody escaping. Where are they going to go to? It's only big enough planet. And that
far
this
side
is
of the
that
moon.
this is that big underground pedophile ring that's being run by the Pizzagate stuff.
yeah.
and they don't want to have another Epstein happen, and it also simultaneously
Well,
resets.
okay, let's
the,
just go ahead and get this out. Epstein did not kill himself.
Epstein did not kill himself.
Caller, you're on the air. Welcome.
Reset the economy
Epstein
too.
didn't kill himself, really?
Epstein didn't kill himself. Chuck Lacoste.
Chuck.
Winning.
What's up, guys?
Hey, we're talking about our theories
doing?
about the coronavirus.
I've heard the entire show. I've been standing by, just kind of soaking in. So my question is this, guys: what are the chances? I mean, forget about conspiracy theories, etc. By locking down, as it looks like we're going to be, does that increase the possibility of an invasion of us or a bombing of us? I mean, I don't want to go extreme, but I mean, don't we have? Aren't we more at threat if we're locked down?
I don't see a scenario where, because the military is not locked down. So unless our own military is going to bomb us, which I doubt that's going to happen, or our own law enforcement are going to go through and firebomb cities and stuff like that, which I don't see that's going to happen.
Well, they did do that in Philadelphia in '85.
Well, in 85, yeah. But I don't see it happening on a large scale across the whole United States.
Another theory I have, Chuck, is that the what I've been hearing is that the Yellowstone supervolcano is going to blow, and what they're trying to do is they're trying to get everyone off the road into a shelter, including getting everyone out of the airspace of the western United States. So when this thing blows, it mitigates the amount of casualties.
Start a virus in China that affects the entire world just to get everybody in the United States to
That's what I hear.
I would have
I
been
mean,
like, what
like-
the hell? Sorry, no. I mean, I was talking about this earlier.
I know, it makes absolutely no
there's
sense.
There's a lot of volcanic activity in Yellowstone. There was a 3.9 earthquake in Utah. Croatia just had a earthquake today. Like, there's a lot of
Who else had an earthquake that usually doesn't have earthquakes? Was that Utah, right?
Yeah, it was Utah,
Yeah.
right over the lake.
Yeah. So I could see that happening, and that's gonna be crazy. Like,
Oh, that's gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
that's gonna be insane. But at the same time, I think this is one of those things where it's like correlation and causation aren't always in the same boat.
But yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense. So you make up this big viral pandemic to prevent people from panicking about a volcano blowing up.
So here are the
It's the smartest guys in the room. They're thinking this up.
here are the conspiracy theories that we've covered so far. a global arrest of the pedophile ring that was brought to light by Pizzagate and the arrest of Epstein, who didn't kill himself. And, of course, Harvey Weinstein, who was part of that ring.
Who's
and
now-
and all the celebrities that get to where they're at by apparently banging kids. And if that's what it takes to be a well-known actor, count me out. I'll be mid-level to commercials. And they went to China. Oh, well, that would fit in with the theory that the United States military is the one that introduced the coronavirus through the special forces in China, so that it would infect the entire world. Take out Italy, because it's Italy, just to get us
Hey.
indoors. So, just to get us indoors, so that
Watch
a
it.
super volcano would blow up.
To,
They're like, well,
and,
World War III is about to start, so we got to count Italy out.
and use this to reset the economy back to the gold standard and take out the central banks.
We don't need them dragging down either side of that war. So we'll go ahead and take them out early.
Here's my problem with what you had just said is that I feel like the elites that would have the power to kind of like unleash this kind of, keep this thing under wrap and it being so coordinated, I feel like are the same people that are owned by the central banks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Like what are they called?
Well,
The
this
Illuminati?
Is the Illuminati,
No,
but
not
this is the type.
Illuminati, the family,
Rothschilds?
But this is the type of shit that they made fun of in the Austin Power movies, where you have this overly convoluted plan that's got so many moving parts, and you have Seth Green going like, just take a gun and blow his brains out, you'll win. End of movie. We're
And
done.
somewhere right now, someone's talking to Trump saying, "I will give you the antidote for $1 million."
And it's Alex Jones.
And
it
it's-
doesn't
And it's Alex
exist.
Jones.
Yeah.
And then
I will give
you
you
can
the
take
bill
care of the
for-
gay frogs.
So wait, is it
Get the chemicals out of the water.
Alex Jones' website that got shut down for trying to sell fake
Infowars,
coronavirus?
Infowars Life, yeah. They
Yeah,
took
yeah,
the
for the
colloidal
coronavirus.
silver toothpaste because they were making health claims when if you don't get your nutraceuticals tested by the FDA, you have to put clearly does not diagnose or cure any disease.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
yeah.
So you
but
cannot make treatment claims unless the FDA gives you the permission to do so.
I was
You're
listening
joining
to
us on
NPR.
TikTok. Join us at the link in the bio for the entire show. You get to see everybody and hear Chuck Licata of K-Max Sports on our phone. So that's
By
two.
the way, have you guys heard the sports conspiracy on this?
no.
no, let's
We're
hear
trying to
it.
destroy all
Oh my God.
sports.
Leland, you're going to love this. This whole thing came about because the Astros didn't want to go through an entire season of getting guys hit, so this was all drummed up. Okay? So when baseball comes
It's a
back,
viable
everybody's going
claim.
to forget about the Astros and all their crap,
Yeah.
right?
Dude, do you really think that every single game they were going to get pitched at?
Oh,
Oh,
yes,
absolutely
yes, absolutely.
This ain't gonna stop it. It's just gonna get reinvented and reinvigorated when we get baseball going.
And why are they still withholding the Boston Red Sox judgments?
I know, right? Oh my God, they might not
it's a
have the
goddamn
thing on the Red
conspiracy.
Sox till freaking Christmas at this point. God, that is so unbelievable.
So okay.
The
so,
NBA season might be over before we hear about the Red Sox. Holy crap!
all right. So here are the conspiracy theories.
Okay,
Super volcano. International. I know radar. I know.
radar.
Super volcanoes. International pedophile ring. And Astros don't want to get beaned all season.
And
So they introduced the coronavirus in China to infect the entire world, hopefully killing all the anti-Astros fans so they don't get hit by pitches.
okay, one more.
All right, one more. We got one more.
Okay.
Mike,
Oh, one more.
and if you
Wait a
got any on TikTok, give us your
So,
conspiracy theories. Or
Alex-
if you're on watching right now, give us your conspiracy theories.
Alex intentionally started coronavirus in China because he did not want to be my ride to the Korn concert. So infecting millions would cancel the concert. Therefore, I wouldn't be able to go get drunk and watch people at a Korn concert.
Radar, can you believe that? Can you believe that?
That is the worst conspiracy yet.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it
You know,
that
it is.
possible? Because would
Is
you?
it though?
Yeah.
First of all, I've never even been to China.
It doesn't matter. He went and bought something on Wish, coughed on it, and then it went back
You
and returned it.
emailed it to someone you met in a chat room in Wu.
You've been to a Chinese buffet at least, right?
I convinced some poor Chinese guy that I was a Nigerian prince, and then all he had to do was send me his bank info and his whatever the
Social
equivalent
security number.
Social security is.
And not only that, you're going to help him lower his credit card rates if you just verified the credit card numbers and information with you.
And it'll make his penis super big, too.
But there's more.
But there's more. Okay,
Yeah, I did
so
all that. That was all me.
so
All
far,
for $19.95 plus shipping and handling.
for everybody watching on TikTok, everybody watching on YouTube, so far, here's our conspiracy theories: global pedophile ring, super volcano, and Alex doesn't want to give Mike a ride to corn.
Hey, you forgot the Astros.
Oh, and then the Astros don't want to
No,
get hit by
don't forget
pitches.
the Astros,
Yeah,
yeah.
can't forget those.
And Patty
by
doesn't
the
want to
way-
come into the show.
And
Number 5.
and that's another reason. So is that another conspiracy? Pat quarantine and chill.
He's not even listening to the show right now.
And let's have
of course
restaurants
he's
be
not listening
closed
to
so
the
that
show
we
right
don't
now.
have to offer free refills of soft drinks to our patrons.
Hey, sorry guys, 1 second. Patty, don't call into the show if you're donating your computer and your monitors and your keyboard and all that good shit to 4 Kick-Ass Productions. Just don't call in the show at all. All right? Boom.
Boom.
By the way, I had not heard the group Korn mentioned any time since the 2000 decade.
I know,
I
right?
mean, I didn't know they were still around.
Oh,
I
yeah.
had no idea.
So I got a call from my cousin, and she was like, dude, get this. Faith No More and Korn are having a concert. And I was like, sweet. Faith No More? Awesome. That's going to be really cool. Korn? Trashy people. So, like, half the experience is watching trashy people. Like, I'm expecting, like, a smoking pregnant woman to, like, fight another one. And, like, this is going to be
There's going to be juggalos.
yeah, like, juggalos are
There's
going to
just
be
going to
there.
be a fuck ton of white people in dreads.
Yeah, and, like, it's going to be gross. And I'm like, this sounds amazing. And, like,
Davis and I are going to look like we just got
What's up,
back
Beard
from
Laws?
a
Join us on YouTube.
Dave Matthews band.
yeah, we're like, oh man, you guys look like you have jobs, and all your teeth will be like, oh, rich guys.
What?
over
They're
there."
You're a
Who's that?
dentist.
Is that Old Spice Pure Sport? I'm like, yeah, it's deodorant, hippie. Get away from me.
It sounds like a potential lineup for River City Rock Fest in San Antonio, where the last one, which was 2018, they had what was left of Stone Temple Pilots, Joan Jett and the Blackhearts,
Fucking rules.
what's left
Wow.
of it. Primus, who are awesome, and 9 Inch Nails.
Nice.
Really? 9 Inch
Sounds
Nails?
awesome.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
That'd be an
Yeah,
awesome
9 Inch Nails
concert.
was the headliner. Primus was awesome. What was left of STP without Scott Welland, it was kind of a tribute.
Okay, we have a fellow podcaster that just tuned in. Beard Laws is with us. Beard Laws, here we're at. Here's our conspiracy theories. Let's run down the list. I don't know what Leland just said.
There we go.
It made my taint tickle though. We got a pedophile ring. This is because of the coronavirus. Pedophile ring.
Sounds just highly inefficient.
Astros wanted the season to end so they wouldn't get hit by baseballs all year. A super volcano. Alex doesn't want to give Mike a ride to a Korn concert. And Patrick wanted to stay home and quarantine and chill instead of coming here and do his job.
Like a dick.
So that's where we're at. So if you have any of your own theories, let us know what they are.
Shareholders of Clorox
And
are
if-
jumping up and down for
if-
joy.
If your idea sucks, though, I mean, pitch it extra hard.
Pitch it extra hard. Make us believe. Make us believe.
Just not at the Astros because they're black and blue.
But now I'm going to put Alex and Mike to sleep for a little bit because I got Chuck Licata on the line, and I have got to talk about probably one of the biggest signings in NFL history to where it's going to make a lot of people a Tampa Bay fan, and I want to get his impression. I personally
Wait, that wasn't
think,
a meme?
Okay,
I thought that was a fucking meme.
One
no,
thing.
Tom Brady went to Tampa
Remember,
Bay.
okay,
He signed
everybody,
yesterday.
everybody, just remember.
It's amazing.
Look at me,
it
I'm
awesome?
Mike Allen. Tom Brady's not gonna leave New England, and I'm like, dude, he totally is. Watch this. He's gonna go to some garbage team.
We're gonna get
and you're
it.
like, no, he's not. Why would you live? He has 8 billion rings. And then he goes, and I'm like, I told you so.
We're gonna start keeping a tally on that whiteboard back there
Of-
of all your
How many
claims
times I'm like-
and whether you're right or
Hey,
wrong.
you know what? I'm right more than I'm wrong. Nobody saw this coming, okay? Except
for me.
Mike.
Yeah,
No,
because
who
I'm
at this
freaking
time,
awesome.
Who at this time was 50% correct, which makes him 100% correct.
Yeah, 50% of the time.
Okay.
100%.
I
of the time.
concede. You were right.
Suck a nerd.
All right.
I guess I couldn't franchise tag him.
So now we got Tom Brady going to Tampa Bay, and the reports are that not only are other players around the league trying to get out of their contracts or buy out of their contracts so that they can go to Tampa Bay as a free agent to play with Tom, but everybody in Tampa Bay that's on the team right now is trying to lock down their contracts because they are excited he's in town.
Well-
now here's my question. How good is Tampa Bay going to be next year with Bruce Arians as the coach and Tom Brady as the quarterback with the weapons that team has, knowing that the quarterback they got rid of threw for 5,000 yards with that team? The only
Yes.
problem was he also threw 30 picks.
Yep.
Wait, what's the
Exactly.
coach's name?
Bruce Arians.
Okay.
Bruce Arians.
Okay, so Bruce Arian
Yep.
with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He's gonna spray his Brady gravy all over
Over
Tampa
it.
Bay. So it's gonna be the Arian Brady gravy.
That's right. Work the shaft, tickle the balls, swallow the gravy. I mean,
The dog just got stronger.
But here's my question. Is Tampa Bay going to be in the mix next year because of adding Tom Brady with the weapon? Plus, that offensive line is amazing.
Plus, they're also pissed they
Yeah.
lost WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Who cares about that? They have a great offensive line. Their defense is solid. It's just Winston couldn't. I mean, if your defense holds the other team to less than 20 points, you should win the game, not lose 14-7
You know,
with 4 picks.
that'll be interesting. That Tampa Bay, if they actually can win the Super Bowl and the XFL's Vipers don't still suck next season, you got the best team and the worst team in football in that one city. Speaking of the XFL, did you hear?
No, we
Now that
weren't.
somebody
We were
else
talking
brought it
about
up.
we were talking about Tampa Bay and Tom Brady. Here's my prediction. I think. Well, for one thing, New England is in trouble because they don't have
Oh, they're in serious shit.
anybody and
They're
Tom
in
Brady's
serious shit.
caliber. And
yeah,
since-
they're going to turn to the Golden State Warriors.
and since they didn't, they weren't prepared with their draft picks or their free agency. They don't really have anybody to replace Tom. That's going to
Nope.
lead that team like Tom did. On the flip side, you got Bruce Arians, who's a quarterback whisperer. You got a strong offensive line, a lot of weapons on offense that can protect him. Plus, Tom Brady did not become Tom Brady because he's tall and strong and fast. He became Tom Brady because he understands he's a coach on the field. He understands the game better than anybody, and he's deadly accurate with his passes. All you have to do is just give him time. So who
Yep.
do you think's going to do better next year, New England or Tampa Bay?
I don't think there's any I don't think there's any question. It's going to be Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They've got one of the best receiver corps in the league. I mean, Chris Godwin was just a stud. You already had Mike Evans. You've got not one, but 2 really good tight ends. They're running backs. It looks like Ronald Jones is finally going to step up and be a lead running back. But that's not to say they're not going to draft a running back or pick up a running back before the season.
Yeah.
And like you said, you nailed everything else. Their defense is phenomenal, always has been. And the reason they haven't won more than they have already is exactly because of what you talked about with Winston. Turn the ball over. You can't throw 30 picks and win and be in the playoffs.
And they're
just can't.
also a fair weather team versus a winner team. So They have that
Yeah.
advantage as well.
Yeah, they don't play well when they go north. That's true.
And here's the other thing. If nothing else, Tom Brady has always proved when you give him incentive, you're fucked. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
a guy with incentive. He's going to throw everything he can to make New England look like idiots. Because, I mean, let's face it, we all kind of knew that him and Belichick didn't exactly, weren't on the same page anyway. Now that he's left, he is pissed.
Yeah, oh, he's
Well,
good.
I think that soured in the last couple of years. I don't think that. I think that soured starting with the Inflategate, and then it kind of went downhill. And then with their loss to Philadelphia, which they were the better team on that field. I think Tom went back and won one more just to prove that he could win it. And then, but I think that relationship's been going sour for the last, at least, I would say 4 years.
I think he's going to pull Peyton Manning, to be honest with you.
Yes.
He just will not choke in the Super Bowl like Peyton did the first time. And he's going to go out, he's going to win a Super Bowl, and then that's when he's going to retire. Or he might win a couple, depending on how much gas he has in the tank. And then here's the big question.
Okay, let's be clear. Peyton Manning didn't choke in the first Super Bowl. His entire team choked. Because you got to block.
Yeah.
Safety
run
in the first
catch.
play. Safety.
Yeah, that's called offensive line breakdown. Quarterbacks don't get tackled in the backfield because they're bad. They get tackled in the backfield because their offensive line sucks.
Do you think that, Chuck,
Yeah.
do you think that
Yeah.
Dak Prescott would have went to New England if he didn't get franchise tagged? And how many times can Dallas actually do that?
I'll tell you what, I don't think Dak goes if he's smart. Because like Mike says, I mean, there's nothing in New England. What is there in New England? And part of the reason we found out, obviously, that Tom really wanted to go was because this past year when, as he continued to take cuts in his contract or move money so they could sign players, where were the players?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
I mean,
where have they been, Mike?
Well, they've been really good at reloading year after year after year, except for the last couple of years. They won that last Super Bowl, and, then in the offseason, let all those guys go. I'm like, what? What are you doing? I mean, at least keep some of the younger guys. Don't bail on everything. And I think Belichick might have just gotten to the point where, you get to a point where you're just not listening anymore because you think you got it figured out. And
Yeah.
I think he's not going to have a good team in New England for. If he
No.
sticks around, for 5 years, he might have another Super Bowl run. But he'll have to rebuild the team because he's got nobody.
In the AFC East, it's here come the Bills. That's what it's going to be.
The Bills.
And you know what?
Bills and don't
real quick.
and don't sleep on the Dolphins either.
Yeah, that's true.
Don't sleep on
And
them.
real quick on Deflategate, and I'm sure you guys have read the same thing. It sounds like Tom was a little pissed that they kind of like left him out there on his own.
Oh yeah, I totally agree. I
At
totally
least
agree.
if he gets caught playing for the caught cheating while playing for the Buccaneers, he can just go, "Yarg! Well, it's a pirate's life for me.
It's a pirate's life.
Those rules are really just guidelines."
Dude, go watch some corn, will you?
That wasn't
Seriously. Come
that
on.
wasn't part of the
I don't
code.
like corn. All right,
That wasn't part of the
Okay.
code.
I like peas and
Oh,
carrots. They're a little bit heavier. There's more vitamins.
A little bit sweeter.
I like flour tortillas myself.
Their wall of death is a little bit more intense.
Yes, pretty much.
well, we know where the best barbecue is, right? Like,
And don't get me started smashing pumpkins.
About that smash mouth life.
Oh,
Oh my
And,
God.
in other NFL news, PJ Walker has signed with Carolina.
yeah. Where's
And
Cam?
Carolina's
you-
traded their backup quarterback, by the way, Kyle Allen.
Yeah, I
They
know.
just sent him away today.
And check this out. Kyle Allen went to New England.
Yep.
and guess who New England didn't even talk to?
Wow. Okay, you're banned from Give me that. Banned.
Guess who New England didn't even talk to?
Alan Rickman.
Cam Newton. Basically, nobody has talked to Cam Newton.
No.
Has he tried being less Cam Newton-y?
I think that's the problem.
He should change his name to Fig Newton.
You know, I watched.
He's so bland.
There's the show on Amazon called Tough Enough, and they did the Carolina Panthers one year. It was Philadelphia last year, but they go through an entire season of one team, and they follow the team around. And when I was watching that, what I saw in Cam Newton is I saw a player who wasn't hungry anymore. He'd arrived. He had his own barbershop. He had his own chair in a barbershop that he paid for. He had, he's always walking around in his suits and smoking cigars. And I'm thinking, where's the fire? Where's, you got a team here.
I mean, after I arrive, I'm typically like, all right, well, whatever, I'm going to go smoke and lay down.
Exactly. And I don't think he lost the competitive edge that made him Cam Newton when he was a rookie into his first couple of years when he took this team to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he threw him a rag and was like, go clean yourself up.
Peyton Manning absolutely destroyed Cam Newton. He has not been the same since that Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Amen.
And I think
Amen.
and now he's considered he's I could be wrong, but just my impression is that people are staying away from him because he's not good for the locker room. And one of the things,
absolutely,
which means the
doubt.
XFL probably won't take him either to give him a second chance.
I don't think he'd play for the XFL. I don't know. No, I'm serious. I don't think his ego would allow him to go play for the XFL.
So basically, he's like Johnny Manziel.
You gonna check every time you
I was
mention
just going to say
I
that.
know he's mentioned it like 3 times now. He wants to talk about the XFL so bad. 3 games into a season that nobody's watching, and the only news that's come out of the XFL is that one quarterback from wherever the fuck it was is going
Temple.
to.
Well, he was playing for the Houston Roughnecks, undefeated.
The Houston team is going to what team?
He's going to the Carolina Panthers.
To replace Cam Newton.
Right.
So there you go. That's all the news from the XFL that we need because nobody else knows anything about that league. They didn't play long enough.
Right.
Fucking
hey, real quick,
coronavirus.
you got to throw in that Phillip Rivers is now with Indianapolis, who, of course, lost Andrew Luck beginning of last year and had Jacoby Brissett, who was the heir apparent to Tom Brady before being traded before what's his name that's in San Francisco now
Garoppolo
became the heir apparent, then got traded out there as well.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's a great fit for Phillip Rivers. And you know what I would love to see next year? And I don't know, this might be far-reaching. I would love to see a Tampa Bay Indianapolis Super Bowl. Would that be awesome?
With Tony Dungy on commentary. That would be amazing.
That would be a great storyline. Mm-hmm. That would be an awesome storyline.
Tony Dungy and John Gruden as the field reporter.
Yeah, this is field reporter. Yeah, because Las Vegas ain't going to do shit next year.
No.
Although he picked up. Who did he pick up? No, he picked up a quarterback. Shoot.
Who was that? You're right. He did pick up somebody.
He picked up somebody good. I can't remember the name off the top of my head. Over to Carl.
Hang on, I'll look it up.
What about Green Bay and the Saints? What do you see? What's happening with them?
The Saints, I think, blew their wad when they got ripped off.
Oh, sorry,
call.
Patty.
And Green Bay's not going to go anywhere until they get rid of Rodgers and start over.
And then both New York teams are in the dumpster as well.
Yeah, well, but I think the Jets have a better chance of becoming better than New York.
Than the Giants.
The Giants. The Giants, however, picked up a big backup quarterback, our old Colt McCoy.
He's still in the league after all these years.
Yeah, he was back up at Washington for years.
And last we heard of him is he was put out in the field and then he broke his leg. It's really good for Colt. It means he's been playing in the NFL for almost 10 years now?
Yeah, pretty much.
Damn.
And I gave him an Uber ride.
Is RG3 even playing in the NFL?
Yeah, he's a backup for. He's another move. Gosh, so many things happen. I don't have. Chuck, you got your computer up. Chuck.
Sorry, guys. I had a cough attack and I muted myself. So Teddy Bridgewater going to Carolina is fucking freaking huge.
Oh,
Absolutely
Bridgewater to Carolina. Yeah, that's going to be.
Yeah,
they got
boy,
two-
that's the last place I
Unbelievable.
thought he'd go.
They got two amazing
I really did.
quarterbacks in Carolina
That's
now.
an unbelievable move.
So
Yeah.
is Bridgewater going to be the starter, or is Walker going to be the starter?
Oh no, it's absolutely Bridgewater. There's no. He said he's not going anywhere unless he's the starter. So
They got Bridgewater and a solid backup in Walker.
yeah, oh yeah, and yeah, Cam Newton who?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He's still, I mean, nobody's even calling him. That's what's
Yeah,
amazing.
exactly. Hey, I think the CFL could use him.
Hey, where did RG3 end up?
He's at Baltimore. He's backing up
Baltimore.
Lamar.
That's right. He's backing
Yeah.
up Rivers.
Ravens.
Or, I
Yeah.
mean,
Hey, by the way, real quick,
yeah.
Leland made reference to Cam Newton and Johnny Manziel. I'll bet Cam Newton is the next appearance on that insurance thing. That
Oh
has
yeah, the State
Manziel
Farm
and
Insurance
Mike
Company.
State Farm. That's funny.
Gotta give Manziel credit. At least he knows how to make fun of himself. I don't think.
Yeah, he does.
I don't think Cam Newton, especially since he politicized that Super Bowl and just won the Broncos, curb stomped the Panthers, and then you had Manning get up and goes, "Yeah, I'm up here playing football, join the game, having a beer, go kiss my wife. I'll make my decision on retirement later." Completely unpolitical. It's all about football. And the fact that they completely politicized that game was just ridiculous for the Carolina Panthers.
Well, how did they politicize it?
Yeah.
They had Cam Newton. They were interviewing Cam Newton. He was making such a big deal about saying he kept the first thing out of his mouth on every sentence was saying, "I'm an African American quarterback." I go, okay, so
Yeah, and
Oh,
and
yeah.
that whole
No.
time.
Yeah.
And then the whole
so ridiculous.
the whole thing about the halftime show where they basically the rumor was that it was a very what was it Beyonce? It was a very anti-cop song, and so
Yeah.
half the cops
Yeah.
just walked off the job after that. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
What happened during that Super Bowl, and thankfully Manning just took the high road and just made it all about the game of football.
Wait, what
exactly.
was,
By the way, real quick, Mike, you mentioned Las Vegas.
Yeah.
Marcus Mariota.
Oh, yeah,
Really?
yeah. That's who went to.
Marcus Mariota?
Yeah.
Wow, we're really thrilled about that, aren't we?
Well, I tell you what, I think it's a good situation for him to be in because the coach really liked him coming out of college, and
Yeah.
and I think Marcus Mariota. I think Mariota needed a better offensive line. and one thing that the Raiders have is a good offensive line.
Oh, yeah.
They
'cause,
didn't have a
look at
very
Josh
good.
Jacobs. He's one of the best running backs in the league.
And they got a good running
Definitely.
back. They don't have anybody really to throw to, which is why Carr had such a hard time there. And their defense
Yeah.
is suspect, which means you're gonna have to go Texas Tech and get more. You're gonna have to score more points than your opponent.
Plus, how
Yeah.
many years is it going to take them to build up a fan base in Vegas?
One day
One day. Yeah, exactly.
they're thinking about leaving because the Coliseum is garbage.
Oh, it
It
is.
is.
I mean, it's
Absolutely.
falling apart. Half the bathrooms don't work. They've got porta potties outside the set up for the fans because the bathrooms inside the park don't work.
It leaks when it rains.
Part of it has settled, so it's unstable,
And it's a seismic zone, yeah.
and it's right in the middle of an earthquake zone. And they've been trying to. I mean, Al Davis was trying to get a new stadium back there in the '80s. And the Coliseum's what, 50, 60 years old?
Something
Oh my
like that.
God,
It's the oldest. It's the oldest stadium in. I think it was the oldest stadium in the NFL, or one of the oldest ones, and it's one of the oldest stadiums in.
Well, it's one of
Major
those
League
cookie. It was
Baseball.
one of those stadiums that was built like Three Rivers.
Yeah, it's the only
It's
cookie
a
cutter stadium.
multi-use. It's the only one left.
It's the only
And they could have just went and shared the stadium with San Francisco. But the city that San Francisco's stadium is now in didn't want didn't want to do that because they didn't want the folks from Oakland.
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara was
Santa
scared.
Clara,
of the,
that's it,
they were scared of the Oakland fans.
And the fact that also
Those are the best fans.
They're the greatest
The-
fan.
the-
One of
the
the
fact-
greatest fan. Them, Cleveland, Green Bay, and I hate to say it, the Cowboys. They got a loyal fan base.
so are the Bears.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bears are kind of fair weather.
Mm.
And the Lions, I mean, you really can't call us fans at this point. You just have to call us abuse victims.
Crybabies.
It's just like every
Abuse
Sunday is just an awkward,
No. See, we're even
tense-
no Chuck. We're even,
tense Thanksgiving dinner that just everybody just like hates, but they're just happy to be there.
you know, Chuck. You can't even call us crybabies at this point because it's been so long since our team has even won anything that we're beyond. I mean, yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
not like the Cowboys who have 6 Super Bowls and it's like, oh, we haven't had a Super Bowl since the 95.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck you. We've had one playoff win since 1957. So cry me a river.
Yeah.
I mean, we're at this point,
Well,
you
and
can't even call us crybabies. We're just so dead inside that we have no feelings at
Yeah.
all.
Well, and I was teasing you. I mean, it's.
Oh,
just-
I know.
You have every right to cry as bad as it's been.
And I'm
By the
still
way,
I'm
Leland,
still a
just so
Lions
you
fan.
know-
I'm still wearing my shirt, man.
They're like a disappointed mother picking up their juvenile,
Yeah.
like angsty son
The-
from the
and
police
the-
station.
And the Ford
They're
family
just
has
like,
left. And,
well-
and the Ford
He went and did it again.
yeah.
and the Ford family's
Come on.
laughing their ass off because they keep getting new stadium after new stadium after a couple.
Now they got one.
They got 2 because remember the Silverdome in Pontiac, and then they got Ford Field.
And the Silverdome didn't even sell.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that sold was the property it was sitting on for $265,000. The owner of that property got the Silverdome for free.
And they couldn't even demolish it correctly.
And then when they tried to demolish it, it wouldn't fall.
Jokes on them.
It's like, fucker can't win a Super Bowl,
Wow.
can't even demolish me correctly.
Nice.
Wow.
That is fantastic.
Hey, Leland, real quick.
Yeah.
You mentioned about Vegas and how quickly will they have a fan base? Will the Raiders? The Vegas Golden Knights started in 2017 there. They are averaging, their average attendance is 18,000 people at an NHL hockey game per night. 18,000.
Wait, Vegas has an NHL
yeah.
team?
Yeah, they won the Stanley Cup last year. Last year or the year before?
Yeah,
Holy shit.
year before.
Year before they won.
Yeah.
Well, because they're an expansion team, they got all the first round draft picks and all the free agents. So it was like when Carolina. It was like in Carolina and Jacksonville both came into the league. Both of them made it 2 games deep into the playoff their first year because they had all the talent.
But yeah, I mean the fan base in Vegas is phenomenal. I mean the Raiders are gonna do very well for the first 5 years, no matter how many games they lose.
So that means
Just
that
because.
so that basically means an NBA and MLB team is probably inevitable for Vegas.
Absolutely.
Randy Fry came on, and another fan base that are fiercely loyal that I kind of forgot about, the Chiefs, who finally
they finally got
their
rewarded.
long-awaited. Matter of fact, the Arrowhead Stadium. Thank you, Randy, for reminding me. Arrowhead Stadium is the loudest stadium in the NFL.
What do you see their chances on repeating?
I think
Seattle.
I think the Chiefs. When it was in the Kingdom, when it was a Kingdom, it was.
In Seattle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I still think actually Seattle holds the record for the loudest stadium.
Chiefs.
meeting.
Pretty sure. Check that out, Randy. Check that out and let us know.
The Chiefs beat the Seattle.
I think so. Yeah.
By the way, did you mention the Steelers
Right,
among the
John
most loyal fan bases?
I was
I
hoping.
didn't hear that conversation.
Well, I was kind of hoping to gloss over that zit on the ass of the NFL.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like right next to the ingrown hair that is the Lions. So
Wow.
And that is an
I thought that
ingrown.
was the gout.
And that is
in
an ingrown hair. That it's not the herpes. It's an ingrown hair.
it's an ingrown hair.
It's not the herpes.
Yeah, okay, Patrick.
Ouch.
Come on, man.
Oh, another team that's probably going to be in the
But he
dumpster.
started it.
Another
Yeah,
team
pretty
that's probably
much.
going to be a dumpster fire this year is going to be the Cardinals.
Why?
Why?
You know, I mean, they were a dumpster fire last year.
Are you
and
kidding me? They just picked up Hopkins.
Yeah. Well.
They've got Kyler Murray.
Yep.
they've got what's his name, the running back that came over from Kenyon. What's his name?
You know what
Kenyon Drake.
You know,
came over from Miami.
I see them doing a San Francisco and going from a 4-win to a 10, 11, 12-win team. And I think San Francisco is going to be back in the mix too. But the question was, will the Chiefs make another run?
Repeat.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I believe that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to be around for a long time. As long as that coach-quarterback combination stays together, they're basically the next Brady Belichick tandem. And you know, that kid he's just a good kid. Going got a good head on his shoulders. He understands where he's at. He understands his role. And I think we're going to have a lot of winning football in Kansas City for years to come.
And everybody's path in the AFC especially became a little bit easier now that we know New England's going to suck for at least the next 5 years.
Oh, at least. Yeah, they had their run. This was the end of the era.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think and I see Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl in the next 3 years.
Oh, I give it 2, maybe.
Yeah. Next year they're going to get their feet under it. They might even go next year if Tom can get hot. Because he's pissed. You know he's pissed.
Exactly.
The only reason he went to Tampa Bay is so he could win a Super Bowl before Belichick got to. So he could say, see, it was me. It wasn't just because I was on this team. I wasn't just a plug in Belichick.
You know, it will be.
I was the reason. I was the best decision they ever made.
It'll be interesting to see if Brady and if the Patriots even make it to the playoffs. That Brady's going to be. It'll be sweet revenge that he eliminates the Patriots in the first round.
All right, enough sports talk because I'm starting to lose my kids over here. I got one that's in his phone, probably looking at porn. Time for the mystery drink.
Mr. Drink.
I'm looking at what I'm going to spend my government check on. So.
Yeah. More ammo. Time for the mystery drink.
Oh, we're doing that
Go
this
get
time?
it. Yeah, we're doing it this time. Go get it. That's your bit, man.
Yeah, D-Gen.
And actually,
D-Gen Davis.
While he's getting the mystery drink,
D-Gen.
how do you Chuck? How do you think Cincinnati's going to do next year? Because they're going to obviously pick up the LSU quarterback.
They're going to suck
Oh, it's
LSU.
because everybody in their division is going to be better. Hey, man, don't count out the Browns. Have you seen how many free agents they've been picking up?
Hey, let me tell you something.
They are ramping up.
Hey, let me tell you something about the Browns. They're going to be a factor. And I see it. And everybody was talking about, well, Baker Mayfield, his attitude, blah, 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 blah. And the point I made the other day, and I had this conversation with somebody, is that Baker Mayfield's pissed because he's not winning. He has never been on a team that loses. He's not used to the losing culture. He doesn't like it. And give me a quarterback with that much. He's not having an attitude because he's out there working his ass off, and he doesn't have anybody around him that's really working his ass off with him. And I think a lot of his attitude this year came from Odell Beckham. And I think Odell Beckham needs to be bounced off that. Odell Beckham is a cancer. He's a cancer.
That's the irony of being a star player in college is you end up getting stuck on a crap team because of the way the draft works.
Yeah, but a lot of star players in college go to a crap team and make that team into a Super Bowl champion. Tom Brady. Well, he wasn't even. Well, yeah, he was a star in college. He took Michigan to 2 10-win seasons and a win over Alabama in the Orange Bowl. He just had a crappy draft combine. Peyton Manning is another one. Phillip Rivers is another one. I mean, they can come in. Ben Roethlisberger came in as a rookie and took his team to the Super Bowl. So you can go to a crap team the year before and turn that team around. Troy Aikman took him 1 year, but he got the pieces around him after Jimmy Johnson built that team. Yeah, I said it, Jerry Jones.
Oh yeah,
stupid ass, and built that team around him. So Baker Mayfield needs people around him that will buy into a system of a winning system, and he's got the passion for it. And I think I think he's going to turn that. He's going to turn that team around. And I think you're right. I think they're ramping up.
And here's the other thing, Leland, real quick about Cincinnati. They're screwed. We know Baltimore's good. Mike just told you why the Browns are going to be good. The Steelers have a defense again, and we're getting Big Ben back. So
That was my next question. Was Big Ben
really
going to retire or come back?
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
What's that?
That was going to be my next question. Was Big Ben going to retire or come back?
Oh, he's coming back.
As long as
he's
there's
as
women to
incentivized
be
as
assaulted,
Brady right
Ben
now.
Roethlisberger will still play football.
Go ahead and say that again because Chuck was talking. Go ahead and say it.
Yeah, no, as long as there's women to be assaulted, Ben Roethlisberger will still play football.
Savage. All right, we got
Screw
the
that
mystery.
guy.
You got to come in for the mystery drink, Chuck. Kept me calling on the phone.
Yep.
Let's see what do we got here. It's a beer. It's got an interesting smell.
Citrus.
It's got a citrus smell.
I don't like this.
You haven't liked any one of them. You didn't even like the other ones.
Well, what's there to like with For Loco? I mean, got to give him credit there.
Oh my God, this is horrible. Oh my God. What
The
in-
smell doesn't match the taste. It tastes
What
like
is
it
it?
tastes like Slim Jims.
Oh, I don't know. You didn't
This
bring.
is
You got to
horrible.
bring the can over
What
here
kind of
so I
Slim
can
Jims
reveal.
are you eating?
No, not yet.
So I can reveal.
No, we're not
I mean,
revealing
not yet. I've just set it over here.
Oh,
so
no,
you
I
don't
got
have
it
to
by
get
my
up again.
feet.
Oh, you got it by your feet. Okay.
My feet is.
Did you dip your feet in this shit?
Oh my God.
Quit bitching and just drink it. It was free. Pussy.
I don't know, man. I don't think I would. I agree with you on this one, Alex. This is absolutely atrocious.
Just put it in your body. Shut up.
Yeah, this is all you.
Oh, I can't.
Behave.
Can't do it. Oh my God.
Do it.
Davis,
like
you're
a-
an asshole.
Oh, is that part
this
of the
is
thing now?
horrible.
We have to choke it down.
Yeah.
You guys have to. I don't have to do shit.
Yeah.
We got another caller on the line. Caller, welcome. You're on the show.
You know, I
Or
agree.
not.
All right, hang up on him.
Is Chuck still here? Chuck, you here? Chuck?
Yeah, right here. I'm
All right.
listening. Yep.
Okay. Well,
that
it
bad,
shows that we have two people on the call, but you're the only one talking.
All right, you guys ready to see what it is?
Yeah, hand it to me. I'll reveal it.
Prepare yourself.
Gotta see what Garbo freaking drink this is. All right, well, it's Lemony Sal. I have no idea what that is. So here's the drink. Really?
Modelo?
Oh my God!
It's Mod Modelo with lemon salt.
I'd say that tasted like what's called a butterita or whatever they would call it.
Chlamydia, Clamato.
Okay, I just like how your dad was like, it's a lemony Sal. That was a lemony
Wow,
Sal.
I would expect better from Modelo.
It's
man.
lime and salt.
Here you go.
You animal. No, you have to drink it.
I ain't
You
drinking
touched it.
shit.
No, dude. The only thing good about salt is like when you kind of like get the taste of it off the rim, not in your drink.
That's how you get your electrolytes back.
Well, the other person didn't say anything and then hung up.
Has a good amount of salt in it.
Nope, that was bad.
Not saying the BAC.
Probably because it's like 5 or 4.5. 5.45 by 3.9. Yeah.
Nice.
How much is it?
3.5 alcohol by volume.
3.5. Oh, that's not even worth it.
Nava,
Holy
Mexico,
cow.
and imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Chuck, was that you blowing on your phone?
No, I'm outside with the dogs. I'm going to put it on mute for a while.
All right.
Yeah, go outside while you can before the
All right,
lockdown
I
happens.
think we have a lady in the room.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
What?
I connect it and she doesn't talk.
Is it on the thing?
Well, yeah, it's all in the same channel. If I can hear Chuck, I can hear.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Good mystery drink. That's what I'm talking about. You got to get some garbage sometimes in there, mixed in with the good stuff.
I mean, I think we only had one good one so far.
Here you go.
This is like, have you ever had like the kind of like lime flavored sunflower seeds before.
Yeah.
This tastes like all the salt at the bottom mixed with like a splash of beer.
And the fucked up thing is that I like salt. This is just terrible.
like Alex said, you put it on the rim to get it. You know, when you drink the beer, I could see that, but not like that. That's solids. It tastes like you. It tastes like you mix salt water and beer.
Yeah, it tasted like I was supposed to gargle it and then
Yeah.
spit it back out.
Exactly.
That's exactly what it tasted like.
and
I
it-
was like, this is
It's horrible.
Hold on.
like
People
I got a
with
mouthful of like
sweat.
It's basically
salt water.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if I was at the beach at Cabo San Lucas and I was drunk off Modelo's
and I
and
accidentally
I wandered out too far and I got ate by a wave and I got a mouthful of salt water, that's
With
exactly
beer.
what that would taste
That's
like.
exactly what it tastes like.
Okay, hold on. People with coronavirus, try gargling this and see if it helps.
It only has 3.2%.
Oh, hey man, we
No,
might
no,
get-
no, no,
Don't,
it's
don't
the
do that.
salt.
We might get shut down.
The salt, it's the science. This is for science. You try it. I don't have coronavirus.
I don't think anybody with the coronavirus is actually watching our show.
How do you know that? How presumptuous of you.
attitude.
Yeah. How dare you insult our fan
so
base?
much of the previous shows is bashing coronavirus, saying it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Now they're like, man,
Randy
fuck this
Fry
guy.
says Tom
that's-
Brady won't finish his first season with Tampa Bay because he's too old.
How old is he?
I think not only will he finish, I think Tampa Bay will have at least 10 wins, be in the playoffs, and might even make it all the way to the Super Bowl.
And then when they don't, my Seahawks are going to just dominate for the next 500 years. Squaw. They're going to rename the NFL championship the Watch the Seahawks unmercilessly beat the other team like a
They're going to
baby
be the
Harpsteel
they're going to be
classic.
they're going to be the Royce Gracie of the NFL.
No, they're going to be like the John Wayne Gacy.
You know the Royce
Yeah.
you know who Royce Gracie is, right?
No.
Never heard of that? No. He's basically the father of mixed martial arts. And when the UFC started, it was just a bunch of guys in there beating each other. And then Royce Gracie, you gotta listen, don't interrupt with funny, stupid shit. I'm telling a story. I can already see your mind turning. Yeah, don't be. So Royce Gracie, fuck you, man. So Royce Gracie got into the UFC in its early days when there was just guys in there beating each other, bar fighting, and he went in there with the mixed martial arts, and he was kicking everybody's ass, and he won. He was undefeated. So for many years, you had to win the UFC championship belt and then fight Royce Gracie. He wasn't even in competition for the belt, and he went undefeated. No one ever beat him. And now he trains. His brother has a gym here in Austin, and his brother would come out to the police academy and show us how to ground fight.
Did he ever? Was he ever allowed to win the belt?
No, he won it so many times that they said, okay, now you're not going to be the champion anymore, but our champions are the only ones that can fight you.
That makes sense.
And he would just play with them. I mean, you go back on YouTube and just type in Royce Gracie. He just plays with people. He's like when you were in wrestling in school, and there's that one kid that never broke a sweat, never breathed hard, and he would just whip the shit out of everybody without even trying.
Yeah, that kid made my kidneys bleed.
Yeah, that he's like that.
Jared Volweiler.
Oh, shit.
That's that guy. Well, hey, man. Well, we were trying to get Blanche to call in, but Blanche's, I guess, phone says we got how many people we got on here?
Her phone's got coronavirus. Is that it?
No, it says
Good
2
old
of 3
Skype.
in call. I don't know, man. Skype changes every fucking week.
Just like the coronavirus
It's
news.
like the control. Yeah, exactly. All right, folks. We had a great show. Thanks for showing up there, Alex, and saving it. I'm sorry I unplugged the stuff.
It's all right.
Still love you. Chuck, thanks for stopping by, man.
Enjoyed it, guys. Look forward to being there next week.
All right, man. See you next week.
He saved all of our skins.
We are essential.
All right, folks. Thanks for joining us here on the Radio Man Cave. We'll see you next week, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'm Mike Allen for Pray Be Named Later, Mad Mike, the Sky Marshal, Leland Freeman, Chuck Licata. We'll see you next week.
Great job, team. Head back to base for debriefing and cocktails.